I like dodging Wilder punches with a blindfold on. My coach is like, where did I go wrong? What's up, Danger? What's up, Danger? So Deontay, the Bomber Wilder. Bomb Squad. That dude. He said Joshua was boring. He compared AJ to the Klitschko era, the boring era of boxing is what he called it, to TMZ today. He also said that AJ don't want the fight. When they were offered $50 million, they turned down the fight. Now, my counter to that is Hearn and AJ offered him $120 million to fight, 20 for Brazil, which he turned down and ended up only making $9 million to fight Brazil instead. Then I believe it was 9. It might have been 4. Then he had $50 million for the first fight, $50 million for the rematch, equaling $120 million. But I understand what he's saying. He offered him $50 million first. He's also saying that AJ was scared. He didn't want to fight. If he would have lost, he would have came back to dominate. What do I think about that? I will say I agree and I disagree. I think AJ did look nervous when he was going in there to fight Ruiz. And I think his confidence grew as he was in the match more and more. Because when he was walking to the stage, you kept seeing him look up to the sky, take a deep breath. He was nibbling on his mouthpiece like this. He showed all the signs of being nervous, having jitters. But then as the fight progressed, he started smiling, laughing, sticking his tongue out, taunting, which showed that he regained his confidence. Now, Deontay Wilder does have a point. If a guy comes in there and knocks you out, he didn't really knock him out, but he knocked him down 4 times. You know, is it good enough to outbox that person, or should you go in there and dominate him? Now, I think AJ boxed beautifully. I think he implemented the sweet science. But on the flip side, I can see Wilder's point. This man TKO'd you. You need to go in there and knock him out. Now, that's dumb fighting. It's dumb fighting, but a part of me agrees to that. Like, if I knew somebody knocked me out off top, I would want to knock them out. I would want to beat them in a worse way than they beat me. AJ, he exposed Ruiz by being able to dance around him. And again, he took him to school. So AJ had a dominant performance as, I don't even know if Ruiz won a round. Oh, I gave him 2 rounds in that fight. I'm sorry. He won by 10 rounds to 2 rounds. And I don't know. One-sided performance, but was it really dominating him? I don't think it was. So I think Wilder does have a good point here in that aspect. I really do. I don't believe AJ ran. I don't believe AJ fought boring. I believe AJ fought smart. But on the flip side, again, Wilder brings up a good point. This man just embarrassed you, TKO'd you. You should be going in there to do the same to him. And AJ didn't. He just went for the win. So this is where I get into the dynamics of Wilder has a lot of belief in himself. Wilder, when he gets in there, he's got the heart of a lion. He's not going to give up. No matter how technically bad he is, no matter if he's been stagnant, no matter if he's been hurt, he never stops fighting. From the first round to the 12th round, he is trying to knock you out. He is trying to win. That is a characteristic that AJ does not have. Wilder has that killer instinct. AJ really doesn't. And when he did have it, he got caught. And it's almost like that killer instinct got knocked out of him, in a sense. And Wilder's been caught. He just hasn't, well, I thought he lost to Fury, but he hasn't technically lost. And even after that Fury fight, it didn't knock the killer instinct out of him because he's still going in there for the kill. He's looking for it. So again, I agree. And I want to touch on this before I get off of this. Who do I believe the man of the division is at heavyweight? I would say I believe the man is going to be the winner out of Wilder and Tyson Fury. That's who I believe. And, you know, I know a lot of my supporters will disagree with me, but here's the thing. You cannot lose to Andy Ruiz, who I deem a good fighter, but he's not on a Tyson Fury level. You can't lose to him, come back, outbox him, and not beat him in the same way he beat you and be considered the man, in my opinion, when you have two other boxers who are undefeated. Now, you could say Wilder has a weak credentials, weak resume, but he hasn't lost. He went against Fury, who's arguably one of the best, if not the best in some people's mind. And regardless how you saw it going, he boxed him to a draw. Now you got to ask yourself, has AJ beat anybody better than Tyson Fury? I don't think he has. Tyson Fury was the man that beat the man. That was Klitschko. The Klitschko that AJ fought did a lot better against AJ than he did against Fury. Fury had Klitschko confused. He didn't know what to do. He didn't know how to throw punches. He didn't know how to land punches. Fury slowed down the fight, danced around him, taunted him, and beat him. AJ went into a life or death war with Klitschko. And that was an older Klitschko and a ring-rusted Klitschko. So, being that Wilder went to a draw with Fury, regardless how long he was out of the ring, when you step in there, you put all your credibility on the line. That's why I said if you go in with an injury, that's on you. If you go in with a concussion, that's on you. Because if you lose, your credentials go out the window. And that person takes over your resume because they beat you regardless of the situation. So again, I honestly believe the man of the division now is either going to be Wilder or Fury, depending on who wins. And I have AJ behind them because he lost. Now, do I think AJ could beat Wilder? Yes, I think AJ would probably knock Wilder out more than likely, and more than likely knock him out earlier in the fight than later. My personal opinion. But Wilder or Fury, depending on how February go, is the man of the division. AJ is the cash cow. Just because you're the cash cow doesn't mean you're the man. It just means you have the most popularity. You can generate the most money. But there have been a lot of good fighters in boxing that were evaded, that were dodged, and the boogeyman, let's just say like Bud Crawford, who I think is the best welterweight. Nobody want to fight him on the top. They don't make as much money. They're overshadowed. Now, I'm not saying Wilder is as good as Crawford because Crawford has a better resume, but my point is there's always the real boogeymen, and they never get the money. They never really get the popularity, and the casual person doesn't really know them because they're so avoided. So I'm not saying that's what Wilder is, because I've said multiple times I think he scared shitless of Dillian White, but because Wilder is still undefeated, because he tied with Tyson Fury, who was the man who beat the man, and because AJ lost to Ruiz, I cannot say AJ is the man of the division. You just can't. You can't have a loss and say you're still the man. Yes, he regained his title. Yes, he won back that loss in the rematch. Yes, he's got more belts than Wilder, but he still lost. Wilder, on the other hand, is still the king of bums. But if he beats Fury, which he very well might in this rematch, he wears the crown. If Fury beats Wilder, he wears the crown. Because truth be told, none of these champions outside of Fury is a real champion by winning the belt. What do I mean by that? Deontay Wilder's belt came from Vitali, who vacated. That's how Wilder got his WBC belt off of Stavern. He won the vacated belt. So they didn't beat the actual champion that held on to that belt. On AJ's side, Tyson Fury beat Vladimir and won all his belts. and due to drugs and certain comments he made, he was stripped and all that other stuff that went on. He lost those belts and AJ collected the vacated belts. There's only one man, though, who's won legit titles off the legit champ, and that's Tyson Fury. He has the crown. And if Wilder dethrones him, Wilder is the man. If Tyson Fury beats Wilder, now he has the lineal title, he's got the Ring Magazine title, and he's got an actual strap around his waist again. He has the crown. So I'm interested to see how February is going to go between Tyson Fury and Wilder, because in my opinion, that's the man of the division. Now, A and B side is different. I will say a good comparison is Adrian Broner. Broner has not been doing well in boxing lately, but anytime he goes into a fight, it doesn't matter who he's fighting, he's the A side. Not because he's the best fighter, but because he can put the most asses in the seat and he generates the most money. AJ against Wilder or Fury, even if I consider Wilder or Fury the king, they're not the A side, they're the B side, because they cannot bring in the money AJ can. So A and B comes down to finances. Has nothing to do with who the better fighter is. It has nothing to do with who you think would win, who you think wouldn't win. It has to do with who generates the most money. Case in point, Canelo going up to light heavyweight, fighting Kovalev. Canelo was the A side. He's never fought at light heavyweight. He didn't have a belt at light heavyweight, but because he brings so much money and puts so many asses in the seat and gets so many of the zone subscriptions, he's the A side. It's all about money. So if Wilder beats Fury and he goes to fight AJ, Wilder needs to come to the bargaining table, not AJ. AJ is going to be good without Wilder because he can already make $85 million in a fight. Wilder has not reached that level. So you can't do business. I need Wilder. If Wilder really believes he can beat AJ, if he beats Fury, then Wilder just needs to take that loss. He needs to take it. If they offer him $60 million, he needs to take the $60 million. Not no 50-50 split. Take the $60 million, beat AJ. Then in order for AJ to get that rematch, now you get all the money, and AJ takes the $60 million in the second one. It's that simple. If you believe you can beat somebody, fight them, take their money. Why are you worried about the first paycheck unless you think you're going to lose? That's all I got to say. Thank y'all for watching. I agree and disagree with Wilder at the same time.